All right, guys. Let me tell you what I'm thinking here. I'm having a little coffee this morning. It's Monday morning. A little coffee going on. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to change maybe the direction of this channel just a little bit. And here's why. We're not going to quit doing motorcycle stuff, but we're taking it up a level. We're going to do something more. I'm going to put out more videos, and I'm going to adjust and do a lot more machining. Now, I think it'll be cool and interesting, but here's what I found. You know, I bought the Atacama 5-axis mill, and it's been a serious challenge finding the information I need. I mean, there's some content out there for programming 5-axis, but they don't really cover the nitty-gritty of it. So, as I go through this process of trying to figure this out and make it work, I think I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. Now, we're still doing cool two-stroke and motorcycle stuff, but I'm going to show a lot more of the machining, just because I think there's a need for it out there, and maybe it would be helpful for me later that I could come back to it and review what I did later, because there's so much to learn that once I get a job set up and it's running and everything's fine, and then 2 weeks later I come back, it's like, I don't even remember where I am. Where's the center point of origin and all the other stuff? It's like, okay, I wrote it all down, but I'm going through scraps of paper. So anyway, maybe it would help me see it more, and I can show more about the stuff I'm doing. And I do really cool parts all the time that nobody really sees. Unless you, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you know, I post stories of my parts all the time. So I do really fun, interesting stuff. So I'm going to start showing a lot more machining and designing and processing, the whole scanning and learning how to reverse engineer the scans in you know, CAD CAM software is quite a learning process. And I've come a long way. I still have a ton to learn, but I've come a long way. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. I have spent the time to learn video editing software, and, you know, downloaded Audacity and a different video editor. And so I'm going to try to do a better job at filtering out background noise. And that's it. Just trying to do a better job at covering what's going on around here. Because what I do is really cool. I think it's really cool to me. And maybe you guys will think it's cool too. So that's it. That's what I'm thinking here today. So I'm just going to start filming a lot more of what I do, and just putting it out there. And I guess I'll kind of figure out what is useful and good and impactful to people that are watching that. Anyway, that's it. Okay, bye. Okay, so here's the part. This is the stock piece. And it goes on, it's going in like a mid-50s Ford truck. I mean, a very, you know, customized, I mean, complete, you know. But it has a V8 diesel. I don't know anything about diesels, but diesel people would probably go, that's a frickin' M109 Cummins or whatever. I don't know, I don't really care. But it's a twin turbo V8 diesel, and this is the water inlet pipe that goes in through the intake manifold, which we don't want. So what I've done is I've reversed this whole assembly so it has a snout out. So it really is the same bolt pattern as this, just with the slope going the other way and the inlet for the radiator on this side. So that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. So what I've done, let's save this. Okay, let's turn this off. Okay, so what this is, so this is in the machine. And the way this is set up is the center point of origin is right here. Oh, let me go back and turn on the... So this is my subplate, and there's a vise on here, although I didn't put the vise on this time. I just measured to the, to the part and set the part up from the subplate up to here. This dot is the center point of origin. I don't know if that's really what it's called, but it's the point that all 5 axes rotate around. Not 5 axes. I should say the A and the C axes rotate around that point. So you set the part where it is in the machine, and then it programs everything from there. So you can see that's my center point of origin. My setup point is off of the top, off of this point, and then this is moved up. I moved it up, so everything else should be on 0. The table attachment point is to the C axis, right? Whatever it is, the one that rotates. And then the other point is off the bottom of my subplate, which then mates those together and then puts the origin at the center point of origin, right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So anyway, we just have I'm just running this. I'm going to run because I'm still scared I'm not getting all of these correct. I'm still playing with it. I mean, I have a chart that I have all the points and everything, and I've made mistakes. So I've got a piece of wood in there. We're going to run a piece of wood. So I've got this adaptive and then that kind of clean up, and then it's going to rotate up and do this, rotate that around, do the bore, and then do the scallop, and then come back down and do kind of a roughing parallel pass, and then kind of a finished scallop pass. Now, this is hugely time-wasting process of doing that. And I don't care. Right now, I'm learning so much about trying to get this machine to work that I'm not really considering the machine time necessarily until I get everything really cemented in my head that it all makes sense. Then I can start playing around with making it efficient and making the best tool path. So that's what we're doing. So what I did is I only did these tool paths, and that will tell me if the rotation is right and if my position is correct. Right? And then that's it. And then I set my G54, or I think it's G59 on the Akuma control, right? But anyway, on a FANUC control, it'd be, work offset, G54 is right in the center. And so I just found that point and put it in. I've got the part kind of hanging off the end of the vise, so it can do all of this work without running into jaws. And I think that's it. I think that's where we are. So if we look at this and do a quick simulation. Okay, come on. Whoop. Okay. It's doing that guy, and then, okay, you can see this better. My boring tool is out long enough, although I didn't change the tool in the program, so it has the red mark as if it's going to crash, but it's not really going to crash. At least I hope it's not going to crash. Anyway, so that's about what we have, and then it'll rotate it back over and finish off the top side. So that's it. Let's go over and see what we can do. Okay, so one disadvantage of living in a small town, you have to have material. So I've got to make these. I bought this chunk of material to do these really tall triple clamps for a land speed bike, and I'll show that as I go along. But I thought, oh, there's just enough left over. We might be able to sneak this part in. So this is the reverse part. So we're making another side of this, and I'll show you the design in a minute, but it's got the outlet on the other side. This goes back into the engine and it needs to come out to the radiator. So anyway, I did a side cut out of this, and I'm thinking I can sneak this in, but it's going to be kind of tricky. I'm going to have to make a cut and then probably put it in the mill and mill that center section out. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe I should mill that center section out first, and then it could land in the cut. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, let's do that. All right. Okay, that's two. All right, so that went okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that corner. So then when we flip it over, we'll know where the slot is on the back side. Without crunching into anything. Okay, so we are 3.3. Should write this down, huh? I'm never going to remember. And I'll pull that out, and I will have forgotten. Of course, there's nothing to write on around here. You know, I bought a bunch of sticky notes, and I can't find them anywhere. It's like they've disappeared into the ether. Okay, not that. So y is 3.3, and our x, and this backwards hand wheel is going to kill me one of these days, is x is a negative 5.680. Close enough. Okay. All right. So we're through. It was almost like we knew what we were doing there or something. So let's put it in the saw and make a cut like that and like that. And I would do it with an end mill through here, but we're way narrower. Probably could make it there, but you know, it's just an easy straight cut. So let's just do it that way. Guess we're going to have to go halfway and halfway to catch it. I think that'll work all right. All right, well, I think we just about got it. So I think we can get, you know, we had the chance of screwing up both of them, but I think we're going to make it happen. Sometimes I wonder if I waste more time than just driving to Salt Lake and getting another piece of material, but it's 3 hours there, so I'm going with this was better. Till I scrap it. Okay, bye. That's a logo. They write that on all the material I pick up. It's funny. Makes me laugh every time. All right, can you read a veneer? So we are at 8 inches, 900 thou. That worked out pretty good. So our center line, the center point of origin is 1 inch, 191 thousandths beneath where this tool setter, you can see this, has a laser tool setter. So I need to figure out in Fusion, I have to calculate where the center point of origin is compared to where the part is. So I'm measuring, because I know this datum, and I just measured this, so now we'll put it in Fusion to figure this out. Because as this thing rotates around, it has to be in the proper orientation, if that makes any sense. And then we'll come over here and find, I haven't even decided yet where the my XY home position is, so we'll go over there and deal with that right now. Okay, so that is all the roughing passes done. We really kind of need to vacuum this stuff out, so let me do that. Okay, just we did a little reprogramming. Got this, I think, correct this time. We're going to find out here in just a minute. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, I think the location looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, so I ran this block, this, it's out of wood. So we knocked this out of wood. And it came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So I've got the aluminum in and we're going to run it. So we're going to see what we come up with. Took me a few adjustments and some things, but here we go. Let's rock and roll with this piece. All right. All right, so while the program's loading, but I was showing you about the part we cut the other day. Well, here's the triple that came out of the other piece. So we were successful. You know, there was a chance we were going to ruin the material for both, but we may have pulled it off. You know, once in a while, we get it good. All right, so we're downloaded now. All right, so we're just doing the finished pass. You know, makes me realize that probably I ought to start utilizing actual 5-axis work, and then it could, you know, rotate around on the tangent point. So maybe that's my next learning step here. But this will get the part done. I've got to deliver it tomorrow, so, and I've already screwed around long enough with this. So, and it'll come out good, and the customer will be super happy, so we're all good. Okay, so we got this done. Took way longer than I anticipated, but it came out beautiful. I can't believe, you know, such a cool thing is the blend on all of this. It's just, I guess it's after years of doing many setups on a project like this, it's so cool to get this all in one shot and everything blend together really well. Like I was saying a minute ago, I think maybe I'll start utilizing all 5 axes at the same time. But, you know, sometimes you just got to get the job done. And I've already screwed around long enough with the wood and everything. But we're all solid. So now I'm just going to flip it over and do this side, hold it in soft jaws around that. Or maybe, yeah, I think, well, maybe if we went all the way up, that might be a better way to hang on to that guy. Yeah, I think we'll hang on to it up here. Then we have a surface to kind of go off of. There's not a lot, huh? Maybe we can just barely hang on, use the edge of the soft jaw here and these bosses to kind of locate it. And then there should be enough to hang on. I think that'll work. And then just machine the pocket out, face it off and machine the pocket out, and we'll be golden. And then deliver it tomorrow. So that's it. Let's do this. Let me get rid of these. I don't know why anybody would ever use old programs, but what do I know? Now I am just going to use that as 3-axis. So I'm going to turn that off. All of that stuff off, and I think we can kind of utilize what's there. So let's do this. You know, we could probably hang on to that, and then that might be easier, and then just put some parallels to level that. Yeah. Let's see about that. Okay. New setup, and let's selected point. Let's use that guy right there, except for we want our x-axis to go there. What? You. There we go. Okay. That I think will work fine. Okay, and then let's face that guy off. That, or 2-inch face mill. That'll work. It's plenty big. Oh, stop it. Come on. Come on. Man, sometimes this thing takes forever. You know, one thing, I might have to get a new computer because this seriously? Shit. So it just crashed. I don't know if it's the complexity of the 5-axis is now too much for my computer. I don't know. I mean, I guess the computer's probably 5 years old, might be time. All right, I'm going to shut this off and get back to it in a second. So one thing I always, I have a tough time settling in my mind is the difference between where the tools are and where the Z ends up being. So my little notes are to the top of my soft jaw is 4-inch 885 is the difference between tool set and height off of the subplate. So we take, okay, this, to set the work Z, offset measure to the top of the part, which we'll just use the top of the jaws because we're cutting soft jaws. From the subplate, subtract the 848 or the 1.91. Okay, so if we just put that in there into our work offset, so if we just add the 4.885 gives us 3.694. Okay, is that correct? We got that, we got that, we got our Y set. Our program's in. Let's add 1 inch just to be safe, and we'll just run it above. I normally wouldn't do this on the 3-axis machines. I just bury the tool because I have utter confidence. This one I'm still nervous with. Give me a little time, we'll get it down. And then that's it. Let's just go to our program. And that's it. Okay. Let's come back here. Move over here with me. All right, let's do that. Okay, so we're just cutting above right now to make sure that we aren't, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I think that will do the trick. Let's pull up tool 5. I forgot to take the tool change out of the program, so cutout that's already in there. Okay. All right, hold up. Let me go grab the part. Okay, so we've got to go down enough to clear these points, which are probably not going to roll all the way around enough anyway, but that's all right. We can sort that out. And then, of course, it will be too deep, and then we'll use these flats to level it. All right? Let's try this. So we wrapped this guy up. So here's our design. Came out just the way we want it. So this is the stock one, which goes, of course, back underneath the intake manifold. And this guy with the same bolt pattern, just the other way. So this goes straight to the radiator. So I think that'll work out well. Randy Weaver, Weaver Customs is who this is for. It's going on a, like a mid-50s truck. And of course it's not the, it's a dual turbocharged diesel engine, something else. I don't know. I'm not a diesel guy, so whatever. So I'm not sure how oftentimes all he does is scuff it and paint it to match engine or truck or whatever. So I'll have to call him and see if he wants me to go ahead and clean this up, if he's gonna, run it as is or whatever. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I think it's now time to start utilizing all 5 axes. I mean, for now, what I'm doing is 3+2, which is positioning, which is very cool. The thing that I just love about this is, this would have been, say, 5 operations to do everything, to move it around, to get all the stuff. And of course, every time you move a part, it just moves just enough that it doesn't blend perfect. And the great thing about doing it all in one shot is how perfectly it blends. So it's just awesome. And that machine gives such perfect, beautiful finishes. I love it. But anyway, so a couple of things I think maybe next time I'll do is maybe stand it up and roll a ball end mill around some of these corners. I mean, it's not a big deal. I can go in with a little emery cloth and clean that up, if that's even necessary. But otherwise, I love it. I think it's great. So I'll take, tomorrow I'm going to Salt Lake, so I'll take this with me and I'll show it on the truck. And I guess that's about it for today. I think we knocked it out. So we'll see you later. Cheese Factory out. So we're here at Weaver Customs. All right. Delivering parts. Let's go check out what's going on. Cool. Say hi to everyone, Eric.
Hello.
We're at Weaver Customs today, so we're going to check the fit of this new part, which goes right there. Oh yeah, I think that's just about perfect. Looks like everything lines up all right. That ought to do, huh? Sweet. So you got all the rest of this painted, it looks like.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, process is finishing the cut and buff on everything else over there.
Yeah.
Got a good interior in 2 weeks.
Sweet. We've got to finish the wheels on this. We got to put them together.
Turbo Duramax.
Yeah. It's going to be cool, though.
I'm excited to see this thing run.
Yeah, yeah. What is, man?
What up, Steve?
Nothing. I got some material.
What is going on?
You're going on YouTube.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah? So what's going on, brother? Got some stuff done? Hey, Jeff? Well, I need to find a piece of material somewhere. Look at this. Oh, we got to always look in the 70. Woo! Look at that, another piece of sprocket material, right? Oh yeah, let's find. We need a piece of 1 inch by 4 right there for that bottom triple clamp. All right, let's go 21 inches. All right, let's go put it on the card. All right, so I came up to Salt Lake here to help my buddy Ben fly his helicopter, or Colby, Ben's pilot, fly his helicopter, and the job was canceled. So I'm just running around getting material, delivering parts. I'm gonna run over to Jeff Layton's shop and drop off this Harley steering stem. that I forgot to send with the parts back. And I think that's about it. So over and out. See you guys later. Go work on cool shit.